Welcome to ChessBase Magazine 161. The top tournaments of this issue are the Norway Chess, which was won by Sergei Karyakin, and second was reigning world champion Magnus Carlsen. The Capablanca Memorial in Havana, which was won by Wesley So, and the Poikovsky tournament, where Alexander Morozevich came in first and Dmitry Yakovenko second, and Yakovenko has annotated 2 games for the ChessBase magazine. Karyakin has made notes on his win against Vladimir Kramnik from the Norway Chess, and here he is to move with white. And pawn races don't have such a strong drawish tendency as usual normal theoretical rook endings, so white to move and win. A7, and now there's no way for Kramnik to save himself because the h5 pawn is hanging. So Kramnik had to take the rook, Karyakin's pawn's queen, and then the queen relatively quickly won against the rook. So congratulations to Sergei Karyakin, and of course I had to delete almost all annotations as usual for this video intro, but on the DVD there are of course. Wesley So has analyzed his important win against Sultan Almashi, and here it is white to move, and it's a very difficult situation due to So's strong e-pawn, and of course white's queen is hanging, and most humans find it difficult to defend. What should white have done here? And take your time, this really is a bit difficult. Queen e3 is the only defense. And now the passed pawn is under Almashi's control, and So stops his variation here with unclear, and of course I copied that. While in the game, after queen g3, check, and now black's passed e-pawn is too strong. This is quite typical for such a major piece, endgame or middle game. And it would also be very strong with queen and rook on both sides. Such a far advanced passed pawn then often paralyzes the defense in typical way like here, and the attacker can feed in further forces, and So managed to convert. Congratulations to Wesley So. Okay, there are 13 opening surveys and videos by Shirov and Marine. I want to highlight 3 of the surveys. This first by Havazi on a weapon for white against the Caro-Kann. This is Vallejo Pons Swane from the German Bundesliga. Knight f3 here. Because black cannot so easy play his usual concept with bishop f5 due to knight g3, h4 and knight e5 coming, and this is very dangerous. So bishop g4 is played most often, and then one idea of white is to play with the pair of bishops. Typical aim is like this, as Vallejo Pons has achieved here. He has 2 bishops. Okay, black is very solid, but the pair of bishops should give white a slight advantage, a slight and very long lasting. So if you like the bishops and need a weapon against the Caro-Kann, look at Havazi's article, and if you play the Caro-Kann, of course, also search for counter meshes. Then I want to highlight Hannes Langrock's article. To me, d4 with e6, but of course I must mention that you must have an answer now. Okay, the usual d4 player will not transpose to the French defense, but of course you should be ready with black. Okay, usually c4 will follow, as in Rothstein's Schebe, Biel 2012. This is a bit optimistic for black. Langrock even looks at f5 now, but okay, in the end concludes that the only really serious try should be like this, and again hunting the bishops like in the last opening survey. But here it's a bit different, of course. This has taken a lot of time, and white has won a lot of space. So yeah, it is a bit difficult to believe, hard to believe that black really has equalized, but Vasily Ivanchuk managed to draw quite easily against Vladimir Kramnik in Monaco Rapid game 2002. So this might be interesting for you if you like the bishops with black and are not afraid of white's space advantage and strategical initiative on the light squares for the moment. Then you should go deeper into Hannes Langrock's article. Yeah, and the third survey I want to mention is by Arkady Rothstein. Another weapon against d4. This time d6 here. Tella Ubilava, Benaske 1997 for example. And now bishop f5. Black stops e4. And after f3 starts counterplay on the dark squares and already has some slight advantage in development. Okay, so white has the space and black has the development. If you like this kind of logic for black, then this might be an interesting system. Yeah, and Rothstein concludes that if white fianchettos the queenside bishop, then black should have good counterplay. So the typical development for both sides. And now a5 with the idea to bring the knight around and maybe a4 later, and yeah, black has good counterplay against white's slight space advantage. So more critical might be, as in Conero Humpi, Rainer Buhmann, Lippstadt 2004, Queen f2 in this moment, to castle long very quickly. Okay, and yeah, this of course is also very interesting. White has space advantage, but black can try to initiate counterplay on the queen side. So yeah, it might be an interesting surprise weapon for you against d4 players. Next come the columns. Daniel King pays a tribute to Velimirovic in his move-by-move column and looks at a game Velimirovic-Bukal, of course a sharp Sicilian Velimirovic attack, and really try to answer all questions yourself first to profit from this interactive video format. Dorian Rogosenko looks at hanging pawns in a strategy column, and yeah, they are of course one of the fascinating formations in the center, and they are not always weak or strong. There are some aspects which are very important, but here in Fischer-Spassky Reykjavik World Championship 1972 they are not so strong. How did Bobby continue with white to move? Knight d4, and now black cannot keep the bishop. The situation has transformed, and very strong opening move e4, and now white has a long-lasting initiative on the light squares, and Bobby Fischer won a model game with white. But it does not mean that the hanging pawns are always weak and the side with the hanging pawns is always at a disadvantage. No, it's more difficult. They control many squares, and if the initiative would be with the hanging pawns, then it would be difficult. So study Dorian Rogosenko's article to find out when they are strong and when they are weak. Next comes Oliver Ray's tactic column, Sleeping Giants. And this is also an important positional concept, by the way, which is your worst place piece, and then use the Markogonov principle, improve your worst place piece. This has something to do with the Sleeping Giants and the tactics, and this principle often gives you interesting further candidate moves. Okay, but how to improve white's position in Kovalenko, Moskoshi, Salakarosh 2014, and I think this could also be a positional exercise. but no matter whatsoever, improve your chess skill by tactic or positional exercises. It helps always. G5, and after knight e8, then knight a4, the sleeping giant comes to the powerful outpost c5, and white has overwhelming positional pressure. And here again, really solve Oliver Ray's exercises yourself first. In the endgame column, I look at same colored bishop endings, and last not least comes the opening trap by Rainer Knag, this time from the Benoni, Yevdokimov Volokitin, Moscow, 2008. Okay, Benoni main line, so it is a very deep, the trap. Yeah, it comes very, very deep in the opening. Okay, yeah, it is also a bit deep, but okay. There might be many move orders, but here we have finally reached the starting position of the classical main line of the Benoni. White wants to show that black has not enough space for his 4 minor pieces. Black is cramped. But okay, white has used some time, of course, to show that. Black has a slight advantage in development. And here with bishop g4 sets the trap. White, of course, doesn't want to exchange the bishops, because it is the point of white's setup to show that black doesn't have enough space. So f3 is the natural answer. But now white needs to consolidate first. f4 plays it too early. Now white already has fallen into the trap, but I want to go one move deeper. And here comes then the real blow. How to exploit that white has fallen into the trap. The solution is on the DVD in traditional and video format by Rainer Knag. And now I wish you a lot of fun with ChessBase Magazine 161.